Lols. Lols. Hi, everybody. I just did 3.5 to 4 minutes of talking to the camera. And I'd not even gone live yet. Played the intro song, did some dancing, wobbled my head around a bit. All to no avail. You must push the go live button, Blacky. You must. It is key. So here we go again. Let me try and repeat the stuff that I just said. Pardon me. Yes, I have confirmed this time that I am live. Yeah, I had a prior engagement this morning that I had to go to do, not go to, but do. Or both, I suppose. Yes, so... Yeah, sorry, Pep. I played it to no one. All right, we'll give Pep a bit of theme song. That one. So yes, I didn't have time to set up my stream and schedule it and stuff, but I had to wait till I got home to just basically kick straight off. Well, 15 minutes leeway. There we go, Pep. There's a bit of theme song for you. So yes, I considered just abandoning it and not doing a stream at all. And then, I thought, I'm just sitting here procrastinating jobs that I was going to do anyway. So why not just plug it all in and have a go? So anyway, Pepperland Creek was indeed first in the chat today. That was a weird delay on my screen. So bucket of kudos in the post to you, Pep. Eagerly anticipate its arrival. Be a nice, good-sized bucket full. GRB, g'day. James H, long time no see. How are you? Streetwise, how are you, Streety? GRB, I said, yes, Streetwise. I hope going through all of that stuff has clarified that, yeah, it's not a permanent change, just a requirement today. One moment. Cody son, how are you? Joel G, g'day mate. Maria Z or Z, whichever part of the world you're from, how's it going? Scott's Aquatics, how are you, Scotty? What does this comment mean? Benny filled in admirably and handed right off. Oh. Interesting. Actually, it is quite warm today. I kid you not. But nice and sunny and blue skies. Maria Z is a Jersey girl. Righto. Right. Well, that's good to know that if I am delayed, there's going to be people around that are willing to do the fill-ins. That's nice. Thanks, Benny. Nice. Well done, Benny. Congrats. Where is Benny? If Benny's in here. Oh wait, Benny was someone's name that they don't like getting called what their name is, so they prefer Benny. I think. Dan Slee, how are you, Dan? Thanks for popping in, mate. Festo are very interesting. This batch of eggs, there was probably just under half of the eggs were actually... that's the way it goes. It's the other way around. Thanks, GRB. Yeah, the less than... just under half of them were infertile eggs. And when they hatched, there was probably... well, looking last night, because in the mornings it's very difficult to see into their cave. But it seemed very few of the fertile eggs hatched. There didn't seem to be many babies in there at all, but I'll have to poke a light in there, pardon me, as the sun starts going down and see if there's any survivors. I think what my issue is that the Festae are growing and they potentially struggle to fit into the cave that I've provided for them to breed in. She obviously manages to lay eggs in a certain belt around the widest section of the pot, but he is a little bit bigger than her, so potentially can't shoot his whatever you want to call it, milt, in the right spots. So potentially I've got to rethink that. But, you know, I guess once I move them into this tank behind me, things might work a lot better. Now, is my stream coming through okay? Because I keep getting... you know, like in movies where there's a spirit or something in a mirror and the person's face moves at a different speed. I'm getting different on my screen. It's starting to spook me a bit. G'day, Aquafunk. How are you, mate? Just spoke about my Festae. That's about all. That's the only fish I've spoken about so far. But essentially, I was just I was going to just pop in and have a... because I hadn't told anyone that I wasn't going to be around. I kind of half expected to be home in time just to kick off at normal time, but I was a bit later, so just decided to jump up just for a brief chat, basically to say... just to let everyone know that I was alive. I'm well. Yeah. Chewy says he's glad to see I'm alive. It's almost like he predicted the words that were coming. All right, thanks, Maria. So it's just probably maybe just my computer, because I've basically just switched it on and it hasn't had time to warm into its movements yet. Something like that. But thank you, Maria. So yeah, I wasn't going to hang around long. I have no scungy and no beast today. Lots of bugs though. I've really got to move my worm farm. It gets way too many fruit flies. G'day Mooney, how are you? Yeah. Thankfully, Chewy, all of the nonsense is happening a considerable distance from me. So, was supposed to drive up into Queensland on Friday, but I don't think I'll be doing that. G'day, Pam. Yes, a bit late. I was out and about doing things and couldn't make it. Jesse, HC Aqua, how are you, mate? Welcomes. And speaking of the warm weather, crikey. It has gotten quite warm in the middle of the day. Might be some other influences helping with body temperature. Oh, I had a bit of corn on the cob night before last. Doesn't get much better than that. I like to boil it in a pot of water, and then while it's still in the hot, after you've drained the water out, still in the hot pot, chuck heaps of butter, heaps of salt, heaps of pepper in there, and just toss that stuff around for a minute or two. Yum, yum, yum. Not that I'm not a huge fan of what corn does when it's in my body, but still pretty tasty. But yeah, like Chewy mentioned, the whole nonsense has kicked off again down here. We're going through a big second wave. I'm not sure if second waves are happening everywhere else, but there's been crazy amounts of stuff going on in Melbourne. Melbourne's a big hotspot, and there's certain areas in Sydney as well that are also seeing a lot of new cases, pardon me. Yeah, that's another thing that gets a bit wrong with all forms of corn, be it corn on the cob or creamed corn even, or popped corn even. Those little bits that really do their darndest to stay in the gaps in your teeth. It's like they've got a hidden agenda of their own. I don't know, Peplin. Maybe the world is going to heaven in a handbasket. Maybe all of the things that ensue due to the everything, maybe it fixes the planet. Maybe it fixes us all, fixes society, gives us a global presence, and maybe something as dire as this brings the planet together as one, so that the aliens can finally say, oh, now they've got their shit together, let's go say hi properly. Floss is the solution to hiccups. Interesting. It's like apparently licking the roof of your mouth fixes brain freeze. It's very interesting. But yeah, generally those interesting, funny little fixes or cures or hacks with regard to the human body are just triggering different neural endings, nerve endings, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's what my theory is. It triggers a different neural impulse, makes your brain travel to a different spot. Oh, Australian technology. I think I heard an American tell me that advice. Funnily enough, Joel G. I'd not heard it. Actually, I think it was only this morning too. At some stage on the radio or on a podcast or something. Oh yeah, we're getting the mask fighting happening here too. People arguing about their human rights and whatnot. But you know, if it's one of the easiest and most straightforward things we can do to prevent the spread, you know, surely that's a good enough reason for people to put their, you know, their personal, oh, it makes my ears look fat, that kind of nonsense. Or just people, is internal, you know, rebellion. Oh, they're telling me to wear a mask, so I refuse to wear a mask. Ledge, what a hero that person is. Anyway, g'day Hat-Trick Farm. How's it going? Yeah. So, you know, humans are an interesting creature. It's hard to deal with 7.3 billion of us with one big blanket. Is that another one of the conspiracy theories that COVID has something to do with the American election? Oh, that's interesting. It's a very interesting one. Yeah, fingers crossed, you know. What realistically, what can we do? We've got to shut everything down for 6 weeks at least. Everything. Everyone stay indoors and eat rice and pasta and rotten apples and sit in the sun to get your vitamin D and zinc, wherever you get zinc from. Get a bit of zinc into you. G'day, Ian Atkins. How are you, Ian? Thanks for popping in. Well, I mean, look at the Asian countries like Japan. They've been doing the mask thing for as long as I can remember, just as a common courtesy. If they're a little bit sick, they wear a mask so they don't spread it. And I mean, sure, there's probably a little bit of what's the word I'm after? Self-importance with some people that wear masks. So I don't want to breathe everybody else's air, so I'm going to wear a mask. But yeah, as we probably all know now, that the mask, its best purpose is to, you know, to stop you spreading what you've got to other people, not necessarily stopping you breathing stuff in. But obviously it does reduce that risk also. Out of my face. Missed. Always go outside. What if yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what kind of company you're keeping, Joel G, if you feel you have to do that. Yeah, they're different people. Different people indeed. It's like middle of winter, and I'm actually quite warm. Air those pits out. Woo-hoo-hoo. Per what? Per. I don't know this word, Joel G. Very, very strange. But yeah, well, streetwise, wants to see the other side of it. I'm sure most of us do. So the safest thing to do is look out for yourself, wear your mask, wash your hands, stay away from large groups of people that look like idiots, which, let's face it, most large groups of people look like idiots, don't they? They do nowadays. So yeah, just, and be, I guess, socially aware that, you wear a mask, you're looking after everyone, not just yourself. But unfortunately, there's a lot of selfish people on this planet nowadays, and that. So we could be fighting a losing battle. Yeah, well, I'm kind of the same, Peplin. G'day, Kenny. I'm already primarily a hermit. So, yeah, the occasional rando trip out to the shops to get food and drinks and whatnot is about all I care to do. And yeah, Maria is saying about indoor dining. I think it was only about 3 weeks ago where our dining rooms and restaurants and stuff opened back up, but obviously to strict guidelines about personal distancing and quantity of humans in a place. Our bars and pubs and whatnot were allowed to have a certain number of people in, but they all had to be seated at tables and be served drinks and food and whatnot. Whereas, in the past at the pub, like any other pub or bar, you walk to the bar, you order your drink, you get your drink, you take it back to your table. On the way back to your table, you walk past 7 or 9 people that you know and you say g'day and you have a chat, and that's part of the whole charm of a licensed venue is the mingling with the other humans. But essentially they stopped that by making people sit at their tables. I didn't actually go and experience it, but it would have been funny to see if people were socialising. G'day, Ralph. What's cracking? Shouting across the room and whatnot. That would be funny. Aquaballs, g'day, mate. How are you? Yeah, and all the other brands that are showing up, isn't it? But I heard that lots of people are selling their shares and whatnot and investing in gold, hoarding silver, because I think there's a genuine fear amongst a lot of people that economies are going to crash if we have to all shut down and do nothing. Yeah, it'd be a very interesting planet if our existing economy crashes and we've all got to start again. What's going on, Aquaballs? Not such a good day for you, mate? G'day, Bob. How's it going? Yes, Aquaballs, right. Yes, I have been hearing that stuff on the radio today. Was it ammonium hydroxide? A couple of tons of it stored unsafely on the docks or something that exploded. Brutal. I think it was ammonium hydroxide, I think. But yeah, George, fingers crossed. Did you say you've got family there still? So let's hope for their safety, mate. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I appreciate some of Nostradamus's work, Chewy, but he predicted so much stuff that didn't come true too. So much. But, you know, some of the ones that he got right, you could almost say that too coincidental. So maybe there's something to it. Of course they're going to say stuff like that, Peplin, in that area of the world. And, you know, maybe the ammonia... I'm just still second-guessing myself that it was ammonium hydroxide is what I heard. But, you know, that could be a cover story too. Who knows? I guess we won't know until the truth's out, which may never happen, like a lot of these things. But yes, with regards to it being a weapons cache, it was basically one massive big explosion, which was quite brutal, and ammonium nitrate, thank you, GRB. You know, it seems to fit the bill with the nature of that explosion. I think a weapons cache, that would have to be one pretty impressive weapons cache. But, you know, like GRB has stated, ammonium nitrate can be used in explosives. So who's to say that a couple of tons of ammonium nitrate is not a weapons cache? But yes, indeed, thoughts and all that stuff going out to your mob over there, balls. Yeah, balls, but President Trump also says that he's going to stay in the White House if he loses the election, doesn't he? Isn't he saying he's not going anywhere if he loses? God, it's going to be careful about how we interpret the things that people leading up to an election say. That man is going to be all over the place in the next 2 months. Oh wait, everyone's going to pretty much have to have voted by the end of September or something, aren't they? Isn't it all being done with postal votes in the states, and some states have already voted or something. See you, Mooney. Take care. Thanks for swinging in. Yeah, so it'll be a very interesting election anyway. If it's all going to be yeah, I know, that's pretty much what I was saying, George, is that he's saying that, but he won't be able to back that up. So that was pretty much my example of saying you have to take politicians' words that they say in an election period with a bag of salt, not just a grain of salt, the whole bag. That's quite a small bag of salt, isn't it? So yeah, interesting situation there, and more interesting stuff to come. Good times for the humans. You got new fish balls. I mean, did you really need new fish? Don't you have stacks already? Oh, red pencil fish. You're excused then. That would be a good score. I don't even know if we see pencil fish down in Australia at all, let alone red ones. But yeah, I don't. Maybe we do. Maybe I have seen them before, because I quite like just your normal pencil fish. Red one would be quite impressive, I imagine. Oh, good try, Streetwise. What have I got? How can we change the subject to more fun, delicate, interesting, or less delicate, I guess? 33. Are they pencil fish? They're an egg scatterer, right? They just chuck their eggs all over the place, or am I confused? Because with 33, you know, even though you got 33, it's probably got a fair chance of getting some breeding to occur. Positive thing to share. Good thinking, Streetwise. I ordered a Wi-Fi extender. Because, I mean, when I do these streams, currently, what am I on? I've got 2 bars of Wi-Fi signal out of a potential 4. And they are breeding already. Nice. In my room in there's dead spots like there's no next Thursday. There's I can move a device 12 inches in one direction and go from 0 signal to 2 or 3 bars. So I don't know what's going on out there, but fingers crossed that will alleviate some of my Wi-Fi lacking out there. Anything new in Metal World in your life? Not really, Chewy. I got myself a I can't even remember what it's called. Google Nest Mini, or one of those Google Home speakers. And of course, you know, when you get a new speaker, it's clear. You test a new speaker with heavy metal. So I put on a, heavy metal playlist, a Lamb of God playlist, actually, which was ironic that it was a Lamb of God playlist. And I think I had one Lamb of God song over about 2 hours. It was interesting that they called it that. But anyway, that was potentially some of the first metal I'd listened to in a month or so. Actually, probably since the last time I drove my old car, because my stereo that I had in there had a USB thing, and I had a USB. a USB stick with lots of heavy metal on it. But the current new car has a broken CD player in it, no inputs. So I've got to take the one that I pulled out of my old car and put it in. Streety, I think the modem that I run here, I think just runs both automatically. Oh, but you're saying name them different. Interesting. Yeah, but I go for Lamb of God, Chewy for the triplet double kick pedals. I like the double kick and good thick bass to test a speaker out. But yeah, I'll investigate that Streetwise. If the extender I got when it arrives, if it doesn't sort out my problems, I might look into that, because I'm used to be right in the loop with when it comes to computer stuff, but I've just gotten so out of the loop in the last 10 years. There is a spike on a Tipton solo. Any speaker that mellows that out rules. All high notes and harsh stuff. Oh, what did Jesse do? What did you post, Jesse? I've missed it somewhere in there. And Pam's going to do a video, apparently. I've put that on screen and everything. Interesting. All these people with breeding fish. It's crazy. All right, I need closure on what Jesse posted and had to take down. I cannot find the information I seek. Taj Farrant. Don't know if I've heard his name. Righto. Secret squirrels. We shall wait till it becomes public. Crikey. This warmth is unfounded. Yeah, I do remember reading something when I set up this new modem, well, new 6 to 12 months ago. Lol, righto. Yeah, I remember reading something about your 5.8s and your 2.4s and whatnot, but I don't remember what it was. I've got it in my mind that they're just automatically both on, but maybe I might have to look into that a bit more. Oh, you've got to be born with those golden ears, don't you, Chewy? All right, see you, Jesse. Stay away from that fish porn, mate. And the fish pork as well. Makes you burp. Indeed. What a shame, though. It sucks being out of the loop. You miss all the fun stuff. Oh, and the ability to focus for some reason. My eyes are munted. Anyway. I should I either have to finish it here, go and do a wee, make a drink, or just go do a wee, make a drink, and come back. What would we prefer? People are probably getting ready for bed, are they? Oh, that's right. GRB2, the I saved 3 Feste babies from the previous batch and put them into one of my cherry shrimp tanks, and they're loving life. The tank's about 3/4 full of Java moss, and I just see them ducking in and out through the Java moss, probably eating baby shrimp. It's probably better for them than the shit fish food I feed them. Yeah, Pam, I thought I was pissing into the wind by mentioning bed around people like yourself. Righto, stick around seems to be the consensus. Do I have a thing to fill the dead air? To fill the dead air? Maybe not. That's right. I played those ones, and they're were short, weren't they? And I don't remember what of those old new ones I played last week. Who cares? We'll just play one. But it's not going to be that one. Let's do this one instead. Oh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I could probably go on Ray's stream, depending on time, of course. Oh, is that volume terrible? And what have I got to do? I've got to do that one. That's interesting. Sound was quiet, was it? Yeah, when does Rose Aquatics stream, GRB? I think I've spoken to Ro for a while. Might have to. I think she's got me on the old FB. I'll have to get her to shoot me a message or something and talk about it. Or bleat and dip team. What else has been going on? Can't even talk about stuff that's happened on YouTube because I haven't seen any YouTube. Oh, anyone that might have caught Aquamate's stream on Sunday or Saturday night. I was supposed to be there, but we had a massive righto GRB. Too easy. I can handle random times. They're easier to work with than allocated times. Yeah, I was supposed to be there on Aquamate's stream, but most of the internet in Australia died. It was probably China. No, I think there was speak on the day that the internet was down. Like our largest internet company, Telstra, went down probably for a good 5 or 6 hours. Pardon me. Oh, g'day, Derek. Didn't see you sneak in. We rate. What do you rate me an S on? I'm confused. I'm getting so confused today. Yes, Streetwise, you'll need to explain that. Giorgio Morodo. Don't forget to roll those R's, people. I don't even remember what I was just saying. Oh, Aquamate's thing. Yeah, the internet went down. Telstra tried to claim. Oh, no. I don't know if it was Telstra that claimed it or if they were just, speculating. Gotcha, Streety. All right. Oh, hang on. S, that's the one right up the top, isn't it? I feel that may be punching above my weight, as it were. Yeah, there was speculation that the internet outage across the country, because it was felt nationwide in different areas, was some kind of hack from a foreign power. But then within 24 hours, Telstra had denied that and said, no, it wasn't. Nah. It's a little bit sus. They probably just wanted to test how many people would, reach out for a little bit of credit for a day with no internet. Why not? I would. That's right. I'm expecting a phone call at 3 o'clock as well, so it will have to be done by then, which is a whole 49 minutes away. Yeah, probably is actually GRB. I think one of the neighbours is shooting their rifles or dropping things on the ground from a very high height. Time will tell when the bleeding people start running past. How are you, Derek? Good to see you, mate. Thank you for stopping in. G'day, cichlid strain hunter. How are you, mate? Welcome aboard. Oh, that's a good reminder too. I've got this ancient Yamaha thing. I think it's got one key on it that doesn't work. But I saw I've seen them selling on eBay and stuff for about $400. And it's this old, only probably 39 or 40 keys roughly. Old Yamaha keyboard from the 60s or 70s. Was it a Yamaha or Roland? Might have been a Roland. I gave it to my son, but I don't think he uses it anymore, so we might have to sell it. Get some bank for those old keyboards. It's hard to beat those old keyboards. Any of the 3.0s or 6.0s or 8.0s are all good products. The old 808 drum machine. Ooh, what a beaut. Ease of use, simplicity, decent sounds. What more could you want? Acid house. What defines the different types of house music? They call it acid house because it's got like trippy layers and pads and stuff in it, so you can totally go nuts. Or is it referring to that it sounds like a CD that's been dipped in acid? Hard to tell. Really hard to tell. Got a bit of this today. Right. Use a 303 and get lobbed into acid house. Cadbury Caramilk. Good for what ails ya. Vintage cheddar and red onion, just in case. Oh. No. GRB. Australian Gold Coast or the other one? Wait, where was the other Gold Coast? Africa? Very good, very good, Streetwise. Good to know these things. It's funny that particular machinery can lump you into a genre. The fact that it's one-sided, I feel that there's a lurker who keeps messaging me that's not typing in the chat, but I'll just message this way and chat back that way. Not a lot's up, Derek. Had to do a job for my folks this morning, so I wasn't even going to stream, and then I got home and just thought, hey, why not? The squelchy sounds are the acid. Right. We're all learning stuff here today. The squelchy sounds. Yeah, I can't. In response to Chewy's thing about different woods and whatnot, I can't say, like, I've never been an aficionado of the different timbers used in the construction of guitars. But I do know that I prefer a rosewood fingerboard or fretboard, whatever you'd like to call it. But as to what woods the bodies of my guitars are made of, I couldn't actually tell you. But all of the guitars, I'm pretty sure all of the guitars I own all have rosewood fretboards. Because that's what I've always liked. But I don't know how much that has to do with the tone or whether it's just for playability. But even my Fender Stratocaster is a rosewood fingerboard, whereas you see a lot of Stratocasters with the maple, I guess, being the lighter wood. I thought on all those old drum machines you could fiddle with the swing setting to put dots on your quarter notes and stuff, eighth notes and whatnot. Yeah, right. Rosewood instead of mahogany. Oh, you're talking on Fenders. But yeah, as for my the body on my Stratocaster, I don't know what wood the body's made out of. It's a 1992 Strat Plus Deluxe. Very expensive and beautiful guitar to play. Yeah, I suppose if you've got a very acidic timber, probably not the best to combine the acid of a timber with the acid of body sweat. Mine get gross enough as it is. I think that's the question that everyone was going to ask GRB, what George is cooking. I think last time it was chicken sticks, maybe. Chicken on a stick, something like that. But I mean, obviously he's cooked since the last time we were all together in this room. But time will tell. Time will tell. But yes, in these times of turmoil, it's good to have a place to go, a community to hang out with, where we don't have to cough and sneeze all over each other. Handshakes and hugs would be nice, but we do what we can do, isn't it? And Scungy and I went to a guitar shop the other day. I was talking earlier than that with Scungy about me potentially buying a new computer. And we got to the guitar shop, and I had referenced prior to Scungy that I'd potentially like to learn the mandolin. And Scungy did suggest to me that I should buy this mandolin that was hanging up on the wall instead of a computer, but we didn't buy a mandolin. We just bought some guitar strings and some picks. But, still potentially on the cards. Oh. I bought a no-name brand of cola to go with my wild turkey, but I don't know if it's that or something else in my belly that's making my belly burn. The Ableton Push 2. Is that a sequencing program? Oh, no, GRB. We were at Scungy's place at the time, so we went up to Tweedheads. I don't remember what they were called. Just pokey little guitar shop out in the back alleys of Tweedheads. Just go in there. Ableton Push 2. Let's have a gander. Oh, it's one of those big buttony things. A sequencer, sampler. Interesting. I might leave that tab open and have a read so I can find out what it's all about. Surely you can add your distortion in post, Chewy, to a violin. Start with clean and fix it up in the edit. Rolly Seaboard. Streety, you're going to have me with a million tabs open before this thing ends. It's the Seaboard block. Oh, that looks interesting. Rolly Seaboard Rise 49 keyboard. Only, pardon me, $1,800. Wow, though, that Rolly Seaboard is potentially the best looking keyboard I've ever seen, though. How are those keys? That is splendid. Be looking into that as well. Oh, that's interesting, because I have a Roland keytar, and it has this light sensitive or motion sensitive sensor on it that you can apply to different effects and whatnot, and you control it sort of like a theremin, I guess, with the proximity of your hand to the sensor. So, you can add reverbs or chorus or delays and stuff like that, and then control it with how close you put your hand to the sensor. Yeah, keytar. My son uses it now, and he loves it. He uses it down in his little studio, which is much better than it just sitting in the corner of my room getting dust. But yeah, a keytar. Everyone needs a keytar at some stage in their life. Like Wawani, and I think Pseudo Echo use one as well in their video for Funky Town. But yeah, it's got the your fingery stuff on for your left hand, where you can slide left and right for pitch shifting, or you can put your finger on it and wiggle it like vibrato. It's very neat. Oh, and this other levery thing that you can use like a whammy bar. Very cool. And it's got my I think my favorite thing that I used it for in many of my recordings was the cello on it. Nice cello sounds and violin sounds for some of my that stuff. But yeah, some other really cool bass sounds and synth sounds also. Yeah, right. So I see your point now, Chewy, that you do need a high gain pickup to send enough signal in to actually get distorted and used well. G'day, ugly man. How are you, brother? Good to see you in here. It's been brought to my attention that this little bit of hair under the bottom of my chin is only dark on this side and light on this side. How weird. So if anyone, if you've been sitting there wondering about this dodgy little bit of hair, there is actually hair there on this side, but it's just not the same color as this one. How bizarre. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, thanks, ugly. It's, as you can see, not exactly a chilly day here. It was when I got out of bed. I had the long sleeve shirt on and the dressing gown and the flanny pants. But yeah, now it's considerably warm. I imagine, though, the sun is getting down behind the line of trees. As soon as it gets down behind that line of trees, I will probably be popping the flanny straight back on. Very handy device, a flanny in the winter. It is. Hack hard guitar player. Hey Chewy, do you know? Are you familiar with plectrum or Dr. Tomastic guitar strings? They used to be my string of choice for my acoustic guitar. Considerably dearer than most guitar strings, and used them for many years with great success. Beautiful tone, long lasting. And then about, I want to say a year ago, but it might have even been a little bit longer, and I'd forked out for a good 3 or 4 sets of plectrum strings. Expensive as, beautiful tone, but it'd last me not even a week, and I'd snap a D or a G or an A string. So I think they've had a falling down in the quality of the strings that they produce. I just kept snapping on me, so I ended up going to Diodario. I want to say 11 to 52s, and they're a really nice acoustic string, so I've just stuck with them now. Beautiful tone, and I haven't broken one yet. Which I was very disappointed that those Dr. Tomastics are not as good anymore, because they're beautiful tone, best tone string I've ever used. But they just snap, and I can't afford to replace a $40 set of strings every time. Yeah, I don't mind a good heavy, say a 12 through 54, 55 for an acoustic. I used to also use on my, not on my Stratocaster, on my Les Paul Jr. I used to like the Diodario light top heavy bottom. So I think you'd have a 09 for your high E string and like a 52 for your low string. So it was really good for chunky fat bottom sounds, and the lighter top gauge strings were very good for, you know, bending and leady fun stuff, all of that gear. We could talk guitar strings all day long, couldn't we? Yeah, and then my my Stratocaster now, I'd use these I'm not sure if they're locally made, but they're locally distributed. I want to say that they're Australian strings. I don't even remember their brand, but Artist maybe. I think that's what they might be. And I used to use expensive strings on my Stratocaster, but I'm very happy with I think they were like 10 or 11 bucks a set. And they sound nice, easy to play, good tension. Crikey, how many people have we lost just talking about guitar strings? 7? Why not? But anyway, now that we've spoken about guitar strings forever, and yeah, I think I've overstayed my welcome. Was only going to pop in for half an hour and probably avoid talking about guitar strings, yet here we are, an hour and a half later, and I'm talking about guitar strings. Exactly what I didn't want to do. I'd rather hear about string details. Well, the Diodario ones are tension wound over a hexagonal core. Oh, I still didn't watch that video. Could one of the if I got any mods that can post a link to that, I suppose I can just go to Fish Room Fever's YouTube page, can't I? Just find it. But I've been meaning to watch that. It's definitely on my watch list. But I don't think I've even switched YouTube on since last week's stream. Oh no, that's a lie. I did watch Aussie Man Reviews the other day. He had a new video pop up. I had to watch that. I did I had a Willem Powerfish video pop up too. I didn't watch that. If you haven't watched Willem Powerfish, check out Willem Powerfish. Don't watch Willem Powerfish if your earballs are sensitive to foul language, because there's a fair bit of swearing in Willem Powerfish. Oh, better get in on the TikTok video, before it gets banned. He'll want to pull that content and make sure it's available for what have they called it? Instagram's coming through with the competition for TikTok. Reels? Was it Reels? Oh, I want to say Instagram Reels is Facebook's version of competing with TikTok before all of our countries ban it. Pardon me. And wasn't someone was trying to buy TikTok, whether it was Google or no, it wasn't Facebook. I thought someone was going to try and buy it from China. Probably not the best idea, because all of that infrastructure is going to be in place, isn't it? There'd be some massive changes. Maybe they just wanted to buy it to can it. Microsoft, was it? Yeah, right. Thanks, boys. Oh, all right. Viewer poll. Last animal you were bitten by. Go. Oh, actually, last animal I was bitten by was big white Oscar. But, I was asking for it. I was putting my hand in the tank and trying to grab his mouth. I'll do it every time. Was he? Yeah, I don't think I've been bitten. Oh, not including insects. I've probably been bitten by mosquitoes since then. It's not very exciting. Yeah, streetwise all over it. Everyone's getting mosquitoes and fleas. No takers. No takers on the animal. Chewy, you got bitten by a human last. Fair enough. Ah, nice. Thanks, GRB, for the link. Pop that up in a new tab for later on. Appreciate that, mate. That saved me at least 17 or 19 seconds of searching. Pause you. Go back over here. You do what you got to do, Bob. You do what you got to do. Was he doing it for views or was it just happenstance? I'm intrigued. Damn it. What was the I had a subject to move on to if I had no takers for no takers on the animal stuff. Now I've forgotten it. Goodness me. Brain fades. Freezes. Pardon me. What was it? Oh, well, damn it. It'll come back to me. Oh, can't do that either, can I? Rude. Someone remind me of that thing that I was thinking about talking about before I've completely forgotten. Oh, wasp. Good reminding, Streetwise. That was exactly it, Streetwise. No, no one was responding to the bites poll, so I've left it behind. But wasps was exactly what I was going to talk about. There's a podcast that I like to listen to called Stuff You Should Know. I believe they're a subsidiary of How Stuff Works. And they had a flashback episode either yesterday or this morning or something about wasps. And they had some really cool information about wasps and encouraging people not to kill wasps or hornets because they've just got a job to do. And they do it quite well. Pardon me. But they are such interesting creatures. Murder hornets, if you're in the Americas, you can probably afford to kill them because they don't belong there. But essentially, wasps and hornets perform, what do they say? It's the same thing like that turtles thing. All hornets are wasps, but all wasps aren't hornets. Have we dropped? We dropped our economy because we're shit now. But yeah, because those yellow jackets are pretty brutal, aren't they? They're the ones that nest in the ground. You don't know they're there until you've stood right in the middle of their nest. That's them, isn't it? It's yellow jackets that nest in the ground. Thankfully, bald-faced. Are they also called white-faced hornets or white-faced wasps, or are they different again? Yeah, thankfully down here, we have basically your paper wasps and your mud wasps, many different varieties of both, but yeah, basically they nest on walls or eaves more than anywhere, and yeah, like GRB says, sometimes under the leaves that you're pruning off your tree or whatever, and can be a nasty surprise when you're pruning your hedge and then all of a sudden you're covered in paper wasp stings. And they don't give up much either. They'll sting, and then they'll sting, and then, like Pam says, some varieties also have a nasty bite. But they're a pheromone communicator as well, like ants. I mean, they're pretty closely related to ants, your wasps. And basically, that's why when you get hit by a hornet or a wasp, you don't generally just get hit by one. You get attacked by a few, because they, like ants, communicate with pheromones, and they'll put out a distress signal which incites the whole hive or nest or whatever to attack the threat. And then you get those wicked ones. Is it actually, might even be your yellow jackets that don't give up. If you run away, they will chase you. Correct me if I'm wrong. We get quite a few different types of the paper wasps. You get ones that build like a cone-shaped structure or a semicircle kind of structure with hexagonal cells, like a beehive. G'day, Big D. How are you, mate? And then we get ones that build long stems with many little hexagonal sections as you go down. And then you get your mud wasps, which are a solitary wasp, where the female builds a muddy nest. Yeah, but such an intriguing creature. And it was very good to listen to those guys talk about wasps, and all the other stuff they talk about is also very cool. So, check out Stuff You Should Know where you get your podcasts. Yeah, Pam, they say that unless your wasps or your hornets are in a place where they're causing damage or in the way, let's say, for example, if a hornet builds its nest above your main door, you probably want to get rid of that. If they're building where it's going to mess with your structure of your abode, get rid of it. But essentially, yeah, leave them be. Tell you what, most of the mud wasps that I've seen around here are oh geez, I just read that as well. Oh gee, 6 foot by 3 foot. Crikey, that is huge. Yeah, all of the ones that I can remember growing up with, black and orange. And then up at Scungy, there's this particular, well, I like to call the mud ones hornets, but it's probably a wasp. Yellow, bright, vivid yellow. Such a beautiful thing. Often just wafts around on her front deck, and I like to just sit still and let it fly as close to me as it can so I can check it out. It's beautiful compared to the orange ones that I get at my house. She's got yellow up at her house. Very, very intriguing. But yeah, 6 foot by 3 foot nest. How like, I'm assuming that's the square area it took up, but was it, only a centimetre? Oh, sorry, 3/4 of an inch thick, or was it big? That's no bigger. But yeah, to get that big, that would have to be there for years, wouldn't it? And also to be considerably warm, because I think if they get to a certain temperature, sort of low teens, they die off. So sometimes it's only the queen in a nest that survives. Obviously different if you're a solitary wasp. Indeed, GRB. We've gone waspy today. Ian, I keep mostly large cichlids. If I drop my shoulder here, you can see my big Oscar behind me. He's not long for that tank because I need to move my pair of Festae into that tank, which I'm sure it's about 5 or 6 weeks of this live stream now. I keep saying that. I've got another tank around the corner with a large jaguar in it. Unfortunately, he murdered his wife. It's not a nice boy. Not a nice boy, really. Murdered his wife. Other than that, I've got three baby Rivulatus, the last of my bloodline of Rivulatus growing out. They're getting quite pretty as well. I probably should record some of them on video. But yeah, this Oscar behind me, wherever he's disappeared to, I didn't turn the light on, so he's difficult to see until he's looking straight over my shoulder. He's a good... I'd have to say he's a good 9 or 10 inches long. But I'm used to calling 2.5 inches 7. See what I did there? My Festae's probably both of them between 7 and 8 inches, and my Jaguar is probably about 9 inches long as well. Festae's are all, the biggest one of them is probably 4 centimeters, almost 2 inches long. But these got 2 with him that are obviously there's a dominant in the Rivulatus. Sorry, I think I said Festae, did I? Pardon me. Yeah, dominant one's about 4 centimeters. The other one's about 2.5. And then, some guppies in my bathtub out the back. Lots of cherry shrimp all over the place. I have 1 betta, 2 glass catfish, a bunch of bristlenose, yellows, browns, and calicos all over the place, and a big Gibiceps in here with the Oscar, which he will also have to be moved when I move the Oscar out for the Festae, because if I put Gibbo in this tank behind me with a breeding pair of Festae, the Festae, even though the Gibiceps is armored, the Festae will still do their darndest to murder him. They quite capably murdered some good-sized bristlenose in their current tank just over there. So yes, I Pam got it. Pam was there. She's right there with me. Yeah, so if they can murder bristlenose with their mouths full of pointy, sharp teeth, yeah, they'll murder the gibbo as well. Considering the Oscar behind me, he's he hasn't got the level of teeth that the Feste have, but he's made a mess of gibbo's fins and stuff. 12 inches is a state of mind. That's what I like to think. Australian arowana. Yeah, I always find it funny that we call it an Australian arowana, but I suppose it is. Saratoga. I think we've got 2 varieties of Saratoga. GRB will probably back me up on that. I think we've got the Saratoga Giardini, and then I'm sure there's another one. So I'm sure we've got 2 Saratogas down here. Like I said, GRB will be coming through with that information in no time. Other awesome Australian natives, depending on what you're into. Australian bass are very cool. Very good surface attackers, just like is it Larchety or is it Leichhardt? Like the town Leichhardt. I have to Google that one up as well. Get another tab open. What else are our good? Oh yeah, I was talking about Australian bass, wasn't I? Yeah, they attack the surface like your American bass. So if you're doing live feedings, they're very good to watch. We've got a bunch of different gudgeons and blue eyes that are very nice. And did you ever go to the St George Leagues Club, Joel G? I went there once, Joel. Had the most amazing vintage carpet. It was like they would never have had to wash anyone's spew off the carpet because it already looked like 47 people had spewed on it. Oh, did you do the stabbing and you had to leave? Yes, like I said before, as soon as the sun starts to dip, the temperature will go down, and it certainly has. Only if you've got short legs. Oh, but I see what you're doing. I see what you did there. There's my call that I was waiting on. I might just ignore it, shall I? I suppose I can try and cover the speaker. I don't want to just dismiss it. There we go. See what happens. Winter has been super mild, Chewy. I think we've had 3 days of winter. Not in a row either. Yeah, a day of winter, then we go back to about 9 days of autumn, then we have another day of winter, then we have a day of spring. No, then we have like 4 or 5 days of spring, a day of winter, and then here we are again, back in spring. There's already, what is it? August. Already birds nesting because it's warm enough. There's enough bugs and stuff around. The birds are nesting already. Some have already got babies. It's been ridiculous. Oh, Bob, coming in with the deep stuff. I like it. Whoops, wrong click. I'm going to go with the reason being mathematical proportion to your time spent on the planet. Because in 1980, you would have been 40 years younger. So you'd have spent less time on the planet. So 40 years would have seemed like a longer, a bigger piece of time than proportionally the 40 years from 80 to 20 based on how long you've been on the planet for. It's a proportional thing. It's exactly the same thing as why time seems to go faster as you get older. Some nonsense to do with mathematical proportions and stuff. So, I hope I've answered that there for you, Bob. Loosely, albeit. But yeah, I remember hearing someone probably about 20 years ago, they broke it down into all this mathematical speak. It was not Bob's question, because Bob's only just asked this question. He didn't ask it 20 years ago and has now asked it again. It was in reference to time seemingly passing quicker as you get older. No, it doesn't suggest an acceleration of time. It suggests a proportion of your experience of time compared to your actual existence of time. I don't know. I think mine turned to mush around 29 and then solidified again as I got older, and then mushed out again a bit. I think my mush status is a sine curve, maybe. Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, Joel G. But what if people aren't getting their higher levels of dopamine or epinephrine? What if they're not getting their higher doses at an older age? Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you're getting more dopamine or epinephrine. Well, let's investigate. I've heard that why the time goes slow is adrenaline based. When you're in a car crash and stuff like that, everything seems to slow down. Thought that was adrenaline. Wait, is epinephrine a type of adrenaline? Pardon me. Oh, times like these, I wish the beast was here to explain it scientifically to us all. Yeah, it was only... Where was that? I've got to start listing my sources, don't I? Yeah, I'm sure I heard someone talking about it the other day, and they were saying it was the adrenaline that made you process stuff. You process it, I guess, faster, which makes it seem slower. Anyway, it's an odd situation. Yes, I think you're right, Joel G. I think they are similar but not the same. I know there's two types of adrenaline, but they both have adrenaline in the name. I've really got to start taking notes when I listen to thought-provoking podcasts. Yeah, I think epinephrine comes out of the pineal gland or something. Something like that. We need some more gland science, hormone scientists in here. Yeah, well, Bob's all over it. Epinephrine and norepinephrine, and then you've got adrenaline and noradrenaline, I believe. And apparently the only reason they've got different names is because I think it was scientists in Australia and scientists in England were discovering your epinephrines and your adrenaline stuff at the same time. And they were having some shitty nonsense about naming their discoveries, but they're both discovering the same sort of things at the same time. Had something to do with that. Hey, how loose do you want it? How bloody tight do you want this information? Not very? Good. Yeah, there's a good old there's a good joke about that. GRB. How do you make a hormone? Kick her in the violence. Violence will not be tolerated here, people. Even in the comedic form. Unless it's slapstick. Oh, about time, Joel G. Surely you've been getting those letters for months now. Oh, you had to hassle them? Sure they weren't sending you letters. I think Scungy still gets letters about her X-Trail, and she doesn't even have it anymore. Needs its airbags done. No, they're gonna... Yeah, that's probably a healthier and more sensible way to say that one, Peplin. Might have to modify that because generally the way I tell that joke is definitely after hours in the back room at the pub sort of speak. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to change it to that so I don't have to use such vile language in the future. Kick. Whoa, I don't like saying kick in a sentence. Unless it's, whoa, that's got some kick. Where's your sense of adventure, Joel G? Anyway, I might pull a pin here, go and try and do some stuff before the sun goes down. So yeah, even without notification, I do appreciate the 20 odd of you that have hung around. Thanks for popping in. And what did we talk about? Nothing. Or some stuff, but mostly nothing. So yeah, I wasn't even going to stream, like I said, but I thought, haven't told anyone I'm not streaming. Probably, conscientiously decent of me just to pop in and say, wasn't going to stream, and now I'm just going to stream for 10 minutes, and here we are 2 hours later. That's what you get. That is what you get. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for those links. GRB, I believe, chucked me that Piranha Byte link, and Pep, I will check out those keyboards, even though they seem to be quite expensive. But we can all have our pipe dreams. And anyway, yeah. Someone else. Oh yeah, Ian Atkins. Google up Australian native fish, mate. I know I did start talking about Australian natives, but it says it in the title or in the description. Wafty Nonsense. I can start talking about one subject and be on a 47 times removed subject within 4 minutes. Sorry I didn't discuss the wood stuff too deeply, Chewy. But, you're welcome. Anyhow, take care, everyone. And if I don't see you before, I'll see you next week. Take it easy. Thanks again. Bye for now.